I think I know how Kamala Harris wins this race, and I think Donald Trump is helping her do exactly what she needs to do. All right, let's get into it. So, most people in this country, including probably most people watching this video, have decided who they're going to vote for on November 5th. It's almost here. The number of people who are actually undecided, which I think is a little bit different than the number of people who say they're undecided. I think some people like to say they're undecided, but they've made up their mind. I think the number of people who are actually undecided is under 5% of the overall electorate. Okay, so who are these people? I mean, it's hard to generalize, right? Lots of different people, but I would say in the main, these people are Republicans, registered Republicans, a lot of registered Republican women who have two conflicting thoughts. Thought one, I really don't like Donald Trump. I don't like him. I don't like what he represents. I think he's a bully. I think he's a bad example for our kids. I don't want to support him. Thought two, on policy, I'm a Republican. I support Republican policies. I voted for Mitt Romney. I probably even voted for Donald Trump in 2016. Whether it's on the economy or immigration or even, maybe even abortion, I prefer Republican solutions. So those things are obviously in significant conflict, right? Especially Republican women who have not decided yet. They don't like Trump personally, but they don't like Democratic policies. All right, so how did those people make up their mind? Good question. It seems to me that it's a thing of what's in the news and what feels like the closing message for each of the campaigns. Kamala Harris's closing message, it's a little bit all over the place. There's some economy, there's some abortion, there's some democracy, but overall, if I had to put it in one big box, I would say it's Donald Trump is unhinged and unstable, and you can't trust him with the country for another 4 years. He's just going to create chaos. Okay. Does that message appeal to that group, that undecided group of Republicans who don't like Trump? I think it could, because, again, they don't like Trump. They don't like his temperament. They don't like his personality. And the more that Harris talks about those things, the more they're reminded of those things. Now, the X factor, as always in this, is Trump himself. What should Donald Trump be closing on? He should be closing, it's actually really simple. His closing message should be, Kamala Harris was the vice president for 3.5 years. She's saying she's going to do all these things and fix the immigration system or the economy. She had 3.5 years with Joe Biden. She didn't do it. And in fact, she said, she sells seashells by the seashore. She said that she wouldn't do anything different than Joe Biden if she had been president over the last 4 years. That's the message. That, I think, is actually a winner for Donald Trump among the broader electorate, but also among those Republican and Republican women who are undecided because they say, yeah, I don't like Joe Biden's policies. They haven't worked. Why would we vote for more of that, right? I guess I'll go with a Donald Trump. I said that should be Donald Trump's closing message. And it is the closing message of his TV ads. Here's the problem. Donald Trump. So the rally on Sunday at Madison Square Garden has had, at least 48 hours of carryover where we're talking about insults aimed at the Hispanic community. We're talking about who Trump platforms, who he puts forward as representatives of his campaign. Trump himself continues to be Trumpy and give what I would say is give ammunition, political ammunition to Kamala Harris's campaign that suggests, wait a minute, this guy is actually what Kamala Harris is saying. So just imagine yourself as an undecided Republican voter. You're a registered Republican or you're a Republican, you vote for Republicans, but you're just not sure about Donald Trump because mostly you don't like him personally and you don't like his temperament. So you hear something about this Madison Square Garden rally, that's going to reinforce oh, golly, maybe it's not Trump, but it's the people that Trump puts forward, the people that his campaign thinks are worthy surrogates. They're putting those people forward. So rather than have a debate on Kamala Harris, Joe Biden, and the policies of the last 4 years, at least the last 48 hours leading up to the last week of the election are about who Donald Trump surrounds himself with, his judgment, his temperament, and how he makes decisions. I can't emphasize enough how stupid the Madison Square Garden rally was. I get why Trump did it. It was an ego thing. He wanted to fill up the biggest building in his hometown with people cheering and chanting his name. I get it. But it made no sense in theory because he wasn't going to win New York. And in practice, it was actually even worse because what it's done is we've spent 2 out of the last 9 days of a campaign talking about the people that Donald Trump, some comedian I had never heard of before, that Donald Trump put forward to tell jokes to warm up the crowd before he came on and spoke. None of that has anything to do with Kamala Harris and Joe Biden in the last 4 years on economy and immigration and inflation. None of it. It's all about Trump's judgment, who Trump surrounds himself with, Trump's people. That's a losing argument for him among that undecided group. Look, do I think that liberals who watched the MSG rally are going to be like, that's it. That's the final straw. I'm not voting for Donald Trump. Of course not. They weren't voting for Donald Trump long before. Do I think Trump base voters are going to watch the MSG rally and be like, oh, I'm really offended by that comedian. I can't possibly vote for Donald Trump. Now, of course not. They're going to do what J.D. Vance did, which is like, hey, everybody needs to take things a little less seriously and we need to be able to joke around more, right? None of those people matter because one was already with Trump and one was already with Harris. Those people's votes aren't changing. They're not up for grabs. What is up for grabs is the 5%. Again, lots of Republicans, lots of women. What do they think? The more we are talking about Donald Trump, his personality, his approach to politics, his tone, his friends, who he'll put in office, Donald Trump is losing among that group. The more Trump talks about Kamala Harris in the last 4 years, the more he is winning among that group. Personality debate, Trump loses. Issues debate, Trump wins among that critical group. And he has, frankly, pissed away several days in this final little run here of the campaign of his own doing because of this rally and who he put at the rally. It's just dumb politically. I'm not saying it's going to cost him the race, but it is dumb. How you close matters. There is a winning path for him and there is a losing path. And I think right now, message-wise, he is, I think, on the losing path. Again, we got a week left, so we'll see if he can turn it around. All right, so that's my take. Hope everybody's good. Hope everybody's staying sane. I think that's really important. And I'm going to keep making videos. I hope that helps shed light and bring some transparency, some knowledge, some context to what we're watching out here. I'm going to continue to do it through the election and beyond. In order to do that, I need your support. So I need you to become a subscriber if you're not. Trying to get to 50,000. I need you to like this video. I need you to comment on this video, and I need you to tell 10 friends about this channel so that we continue to grow. All right? Everybody take care. See you tomorrow.